So welcome to the next adventure in Steph's kitchen, and this morning I roasted butternut squash. These are kind of the remains. I've just been spooning all of that roast butternut squash into this saucepan here. I've got all of that squash here, lovely roasted, cooked down. And I'm going to make a butternut chia breakfast pudding. And sorry about all the noise. I seem to be noisy in these videos. And so what I'm going to do, the recipe, which is a Hemsley Sisters recipe, it's from their first cookbook. It asked for 350 ml of water. I've actually saved some rhubarb stewing water from the recipe yesterday. So that's going to go in with, I've made it up with water. And I'm going to add that to the pan. Then I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of, I use the mild odorless version. This is coconut oil. And it's a new one, so yeah, managed it. And I'm going to put 3 tablespoons of coconut oil in with the butternut squash and the water. That's a bit of a large tablespoon. Perhaps the next ones can be a bit smaller. It's actually not melted because it's been in a cooler room. And I'm going to call that 3 tablespoons because I'm not terribly exact with recipes. So with my 3 tablespoons of coconut oil and the 350 ml of water and an average butternut squash, I'm going to add 2 Rooibos tea bags. I just opened my Rhubarb Red Bush tea tin, found there's only 1 tea bag in there, so opened a new packet, and these are the organic 11 o'clock Red Bush tea bags, Rooibos. Right, so what I'm going to do is actually open up these tea bags and empty the contents into the pan. That's 2 of those. Tea bags of Red Bush tea, and I'm going to turn on the heat and bring this up to a medium kind of simmer. I'm going to give this a good stir as it's heating up. So I don't want it to boil or anything. I just want to make it get it to a good temperature, and then bring it down to a medium simmer for a little while. I'm actually using a small whisk at this point because this is going to become more important in the later on in the recipe, but just to break down any lumpy bits of butternut squash and make sure that the coconut oil is all melted in, the tea bags are all mixed in, and it's still not really up to heat yet. I'm not going to keep it simmering for very long. Just going to bring it to a medium simmer. And then I'm going to turn it off and let it cool for a while. So I'm going to continue stirring that, bring it to the medium simmer, and then turn it off. So what I'm going to do now, because I just want to move things along, and also I really prefer to have a really smooth pudding, so I'm just going to use this Cuisinart hand blender to really blitz this and make it really smooth. Okay, I've let this butternut pudding cool down for a little while. Can't really show you this very easily. I'm just going to lift that up for a minute to show you what that looks like in the pan, and then carry on showing you what happens next. Bit of interesting camera work there. So obviously it takes a bit of going to take a bit of work to get that right. I'm going to add, because I've let this cool down for, I don't know, about 5 minutes. I'm going to add 4 tablespoons of chia seeds. And I make these sort of level tablespoons, so I don't want to go overboard with chia seeds. And as soon as you've got these in the pan, you need to start mixing them in, because otherwise they'll form lumps. So I'm back to my orange whisk here, and I'm going to give that a really good mix in. Right, I'm really happy with that. Got the chia seeds really well mixed in to the pudding. Then I'm going to add a tablespoon of my raw Portuguese honey to this. That's about a tablespoon. Mix that in. And this is quite a luxurious pudding, and it's a breakfast pudding, and it can be mixed with, it can be layered actually with blueberries, and with, in the Hemsley book they've got a mango cashew cream that goes really well with it. I tend to keep portions of that in the freezer. And the other thing is it will really go well with the rhubarb and walnut fool that I made yesterday. At the end of the previous video I showed some blueberries in a bowl with some of the spiced rhubarb and walnut fool, and I'm going to add some of this butternut chia breakfast pudding to that bowl as well in a little while. But what you need to do at this point is, having mixed in the chia seeds and the honey, let it actually absorb and blend together for 20 minutes to an hour, and that will mean that the chia seeds soften and they do their work, and it all becomes very well blended. And so you've got chia seeds in there for protein, you've got obviously your butternut squash for your veg, you've got the sweetness of the honey, and you've got the coconut oil, your good fats. So very, very, very healthy breakfast, or a dessert if you want to have it on its own, or layer it with fruit and fool, or just some yogurt, some plain yogurt or fruit yogurt. And it's a lovely thing to make. I'm going to leave that for a minute and let it absorb all the chia seeds. While I wait, just a little bit of an update on the spiced rhubarb and walnut fool that I made yesterday. I actually made up a freezer bag of these small pots, one larger pot and some small pots, little green pots of the rhubarb fool, because I like to just have a small amount to add to things, and that means that I can make up a more interesting breakfast or dessert by combining things like, in this case, I've got obviously the breakfast pudding, some blueberries, some spiced rhubarb and walnut fool, some extra walnuts on the top, and it just makes for a much more interesting meal. And the thing is, if it's in the freezer, you can easily just grab it and make something that looks as if it's you know, something really fantastic. And all it is, if you've grabbed a few pots from here and there, maybe made one thing fresh, added some blueberries or whatever fruit you like. And so I hope you'll have a go at that, and thanks for watching.